Hi, I'm Chef Scardino.
And I'm Shelly Argabright.
Welcome to GoGarrettCounty.com. If you're watching this video, you may have already purchased one of our Harvest Hub meal boxes. So you ready to go, Shelly?
Before we get started, I would like to give a huge thanks to Mike and Pablo at Firefly Farms for letting us use their beautiful facility.
Are the ingredients local? You bet. Here's some of the farmers we'll be working with. We're working with Backbone Farm, Honeymoon Farm, Ma and Pa's Country Store, and don't forget, Firefly Farms. And remember, all Harvest Hub meal boxes can be purchased with SNAP benefits. Before we head down to the kitchen and unbox the ingredients, here's what we'll be making. Baked stuffed peppers with ground beef, rice, tomatoes, zucchini, onions, and garlic with goat cheese. All excellent local ingredients. And don't forget, there's a recipe card included in the box as well. Okay, now we're down here in the Firefly kitchen. Thanks again to them. And we're going to unbox the second Harvest Hub meal box. Let's see what we got in here. I'm just going to step up. Goat cheese, Firefly Farms.
Okay.
Ground beef from Ma and Pa's Country Store.
Yes.
Rice. You cannot beat the flavor of these vegetables compared to the ones you buy in the store. The difference is unbelievable. Look at this garlic. Look how tight the clove is on that garlic. That is beautiful. We got plenty of garlic. Okay.
Tomatoes.
And remember, you don't have to use all this stuff at once. It's really up to you. And I guess I'll go ahead and say this now. The recipe that's included in your meal box is just a guideline. It's up to you what you want to do when you're cooking because it's your food. Let's say really quickly, you don't have time to make stuffed peppers, and we'll probably go over this again. You could just make rice and cook this all together and top it with some goat cheese and have a great meal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start prepping these ingredients, and then we'll get back. Okay, so we got some of these items prepped. Hopefully you can see we have our onions and our garlic here, diced tomato and diced up the zucchini. Shelly cut up the peppers. Good job, Shelly. You can notice that some of these peppers we cut vertically and some Shelly cut the top off. It's really up to you. This does make a nicer presentation, but some of those peppers aren't going to stay up, so we cut them vertically. Now, the big question is this. Do we make our filling and then put them in the peppers and put them in the oven? I feel that the filling, you'll see, once it's done, it's almost done, so we're just going to put the filling in there and basically reheat it, and I think the peppers are going to be raw. So what we're going to try, you don't have to do this, is coat this with a little bit of olive oil and put them in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes just to give them a little head start. Okay, now we're over here at the stove and with our pan, and we're just going to put a little bit, I'd say 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once again, recipe, just a guideline. Use common sense, use your best judgment, okay? You just need enough oil to coat this pan. Now, some people will cook their ground beef and then cook their vegetables. I like to cook them separately. By all means, cook it any way you want to. Just remember, and we'll go over this again, your beef needs to be at least 155 degrees, so just make sure Fahrenheit, just make sure you cook it thoroughly. So, we're going to add our onions and garlic. I say this every video, don't burn the garlic. You burn the garlic, you've ruined it, okay? So, we're just going to let this go for a little bit and soften out. That should just take a couple of minutes. And we're going to wait, and then we're going to add our zucchini. And then finally, to soften things up, we're going to add our tomato. We're going to let this go just for another minute, and then we'll get back and show you the rest. Okay, so we let our onion and garlic get softened and add the zucchini. I seasoned this with a little bit of kosher salt and pepper. Once again, season it with whatever you like. Today we have some dry basil we're going to put in here. Just a little. Never do this over because the whole thing gets spilled. So we're going to do a little bit of dry basil. And a little bit of dry oregano. Now, we have fresh herbs here. When you use this is beautiful fresh basil and beautiful fresh parsley. Who's this from? Back on Food Farm. Beautiful stuff. But you always want to add fresh herbs, especially these delicate ones, at the end of the cooking process. If I add this now, it's just going to turn brown. So you really want to bring up the flavors by putting it in at the very, very end. We'll probably garnish with this, and that's why we use the dry stuff. So now, this is about done. I'm going to add the tomatoes. Shelly, go ahead and film in there. So we have this, we're going to let it cook a little.
In the Harvest Club meal box, you do get 1 pound of ground beef from Mom and Pa's Country Store. So I just want to open this up. Make sure your surfaces are clean and keep it separate from your vegetables.
Our ground beef is done. Okay, it's cooked all the way through. This is really nice ground beef. It's fairly lean, so we didn't have to drain any of the fat. But now we have some of our cooked rice here. We're going to go ahead and add that so it kind of heats up as well. Just start throwing a little bit of it, Shelly. Don't be shy. That's fine. Perfect. Get it with a little bit more salt and pepper. A little bit more salt and pepper because we didn't really season that rice. Now since this is all cooked, we can go back and kind of adjust seasoning and taste it. So now we're going to add this to our vegetable mixture. So we added the ground beef and rice mixture to this, and now we need to check for seasoning. We're contemplating, should we add the goat cheese in here and let it incorporate in there? I think we should, but goat cheese can be a little bit salty, so we don't want to get heavy-handed with the seasoning and then add the goat cheese. So we're going to have to be careful. So I think we should give this a quick taste really quick. Needs more seasoning, and we'll add some cheese. And then we'll show you how to stuff these.
I think it's good.
Okay, so we're Shelly's incorporating some of this goat cheese in here. And let me tell you something, this goat cheese is fantastic, okay? And I'm looking at you out there. If you're one of those people that say you don't like goat cheese, first of all, some of you probably never tried it. And second of all, if you have, you've probably had low quality goat cheese. This is quality stuff here. It is delicious, right?
It
is so good, okay? We're gonna save some for the top. So we adjusted our seasonings, and we're gonna stuff these peppers and get them in the oven. So, the stuffed peppers came out of the oven. I think they look pretty good.
They look amazing.
I think we did amazing. You're amazing.
Oh, you are.
I think they look great, and this cheese is fantastic. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm wondering how stable they're going to be, but that's okay. We're going to get them out. I would say we par-cooked these a little bit of olive oil for 10 minutes on a 350-degree oven, pulled them out, then stuffed them and put them back in the oven for another, I think it was 12 minutes on a 350-degree oven. So it didn't take too long. And remember, you don't have to stuff these peppers, okay? You can cook this all together and you'd have the same meal. But this looks nice, so we're gonna try to get some of these out. Look at that. Now, Back on Food Farm?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Catherine. She gave us some of this fresh basil. Like I said, no fresh herbs until the end. So we're going to just cut a little bit of this basil and Italian flatleaf parsley. Beautiful stuff. Light came out of nowhere. Somebody's watching. So, and you want to cut your herbs at the last minute if you're doing this. So we're just going to take some of these fresh herbs, and you can really smell them. I mean, they smell so good. We're just going to sprinkle that on there, just like this. And there goes the light. Okay. Now we're not done. Look what we have left over, Shelly. We have all this leftover filling, which you can use. We have leftover goat cheese. We should have had more leftover goat cheese. We ate a lot of goat cheese.
We really
okay.
did.
We really put the hammer down on the goat cheese. Okay. Still have some tomatoes left. We had some garlic, so there's plenty of food that comes in this meal box, and plenty of leftovers.
So you don't have to cook it all at once, and you can definitely divide it up. If you wanted to go ahead and get the cooking out of the way and then eat on it for a day or two, there's plenty here.
We'll work on that together.
I think we're done. I think we did a good job.
Yeah, thank you to all of our partners. We definitely can't do this alone, so all of our farmers, Firefly Farm
Firefly.
for just a generous donation of the cheese and using their beautiful space. So stay tuned for box 3.
Yeah, and remember, everyone deserves to eat well.